asemu endu time ayento abani we na DBCS inkuti mu nchire.
Godfred Odame has been caught red-handed in the unethical practices he's been engaged in over the years and how he seeks to wrongfully convict people in this country. And it appears that any time the NDC raise the issue, they will say, bring your evidence. Today, we have evidence to that effect. You see, what is happening, especially in relation to Godfred Odame, it's a serious indictment on our justice system. What happened to the legal principle that lets justice be done even if the heavens fall? Today, there are no more men of conscience in this country. We don't have people speaking up. And I am very scandalized and angry as a member of the Ghana Bar Association that Godfred Odame is a leader of the bar. Godfred Odame should be leading the Chop Bar, not the Ghana Bar Association. Because the man has breached every ethical rule. And you see, here we are not talking about allegation. He has called into question the integrity of the courts and the justice system, including the integrity of a Supreme Court judge.
How? Of a Supreme Court judge?
I'll come there. Annie, we are in a very deep mess as a country. You see, this thing is not the NDC against the Office of Attorney General. And that is where Godfred Odame wants to reduce the discussion. The NDC has not made any allegation against Godfred Odame. So Godfred Odame should not think that he can hide under political debate and then get NPP people to be speaking for him while NDC people will be speaking against him. This is not a partisan issue. This calls into question the fear every citizen should hold. If you have a case against the state where the Attorney General will go and meet Supreme Court judges, compel witnesses to come and testify so the Attorney General can win a case. But Godfred Odame is behaving like a child who, when he was young, was bullied. So grew up with a lot of inferiority complex. And so having had access to power, he cannot tell what the limitations of law placed on him are. And I'm terribly sad and terrified, not only as a Ghanaian, but also as a practicing lawyer. When did we descend this low? How did we get here as a country? How far are we willing to go to do the dirty works of the NPP and its apparatchiks? How long are we, or how far are we prepared to go to convict innocent people for political gains? It matters not what the rules are. It matters not what the laws are.
Remember, even though the third accused have said made allegations in court,
please,
he has not given us.
First of all,
he has not given us.
So I'll forgive you.
No, but he has not given us.
Please, the third accused has not made any allegation.
The allegations, are they not?
For
now, he said it in court, but he hasn't given us the proof yet.
Who told you?
Did he give you the proof?
Who told you?
Did he give you the proof?
When a witness is in the box and the witness makes a statement, those statements are not called allegations.
What are they called?
They are called testimonies.
Okay.
So the witness has testified.
Okay.
And what you read is the record of the court. So as we speak today,
it's on record.
The testimony on record is that Godfred Odame held meetings with the accused person at odd hours, both in person and on phone, compelling the accused to testify against Honorable Atuforsen. And you see, I've heard most of the media people say that, oh, this is an allegation. Godfred Odame, through his spokesperson, have admitted this testimony. So if I were to even use your words.
You say he's admitted?
Yes, yesterday.
How?
On Joy News, Wilberforce. And I will wish I pause here and call him so that he will join and reconfirm so I can proceed. Because I don't want him to come and change the story. Let me even go chronologically. when the third accused gave the testimony in court that this is what Godfred Odame has done, quickly, Godfred Odame came to release a press statement saying that, paragraph 2, if you have that press statement, he says that the Republic has never required or desired the cooperation of any of the accused person in the matter in which it has already succeeded in establishing a prima facie case against all the accused person. Now, first of all, let us be clear that the allegation that the third accused made is not against the Republic. So Godfred Odame should not hide under the Republic and create the impression through his press release that the third accused made allegation against the person of the Godfred Odame, not the state. So he cannot hide under, unless he's telling us that he had the authority of the president and the states to do what he did. Then he should come and talk. So he should not hide under the Republic. It says he, Godfred Odame. So if he, Godfred Odame, is saying that he has never...
Yeah, but he's prosecuting this case on behalf of the
Yes,
state.
but he's not the state.
Okay, but...
He's prosecuting... That is why when Anado was president...
Better.
You see, when Anado was the... How do you call it? Attorney General.
Yeah.
In the Chikata case, he filed a charge sheet that he wrote, the president versus Chikata. It's never done in practice. I don't know where he learned that. Quickly, the court said that you cannot do the president because it is not the president's personal case against Mr. Shashish, it's the state. So, we know the state and we know Godfred Odame. When Godfred Odame was going into that meeting, he did not carry his deputies or the DPP.
With the case of the Chikata case, having said that, the courts clarified to the president that you cannot do it on your behalf as a president.
On behalf of the president.
You can only do it on behalf of the state.
Yes.
Then it means that anything that Godfred Odame is doing now should be on behalf of the state.
It's not anything. Otherwise, Godfred Odame, so when he goes to propose to a girl, does he propose to the girl on behalf of the state?
No, I'm saying that this particular case.
So I'm showing you that
on behalf of
yes,
the
but
state.
it is not anything that the Attorney General does that can be ascribed to the state.
What if it's
and especially
in relation,
when it is illegal?
No, I'm saying that what if it's in relation with the case he's actually prosecuting?
This conduct.
Yes.
I mean, I think don't ask that question because you will finish Odame. By asking that question, you will finish him, and you are now robbing in the president. But the point I'm making is that on 23rd, Godfred Odame said that he has not met any of the accused persons with the view of getting them to give evidence against the first accused. Then one would think that, oh, this is very true. Then he came to say that, you know what? The office of the Attorney General has been under enormous pressure, including even one from the first accused, Dr. Atto, forcing himself, but the Attorney General has not yielded. This was his statement on 23rd after court. Yesterday, his spokesperson admitted that Godfred Odame met Mr. Jakpa in the absence of his lawyer and in the home of a Supreme Court judge. And my goodness, you see, this law we practice, it is like being in the medical field. There are so many rules and regulations. I mean, as a lawyer, even if you see a beautiful woman and you want to marry, and you are the lawyer for the woman in a divorce matter, you cannot marry the woman. Because we impose some ethical obligation on lawyers. There are so many things lawyers cannot do. You cannot sit, if you are a judge, and be a judge in the case of your own child or husband. And there are policy rationales and reasons why we do that. And the laws as we have, as leader of the bar, Godfred Odame is presumed to know every provision. In fact, when you go to law school, how you are taught advocacy, you will not even, you are made to memorize the rules so that as a lawyer, you know the do's and don'ts. But you see, Godfred Odame is a man of questionable character. He's a man who wants to get innocent people to jail. So it matters not what the legal obligations and ethical obligations are on him. First of all, let me tell you, he engaged in the professional misconduct and in a criminal act by seeking to meet Mr. Jakpa. Why? If you look at Rule 13 of what we call the eeii 2423, which is the eeii that governs the code of ethics or how lawyers should behave, there is a requirement that where a person is represented in law, another lawyer here, the prosecutor, cannot engage in communication, anything with that person without the consent of the lawyer of the accused in this case. But Odame is telling us that to hell with these provisions. I met Mr. Jakpa in the house of a Supreme Court. Now this morning, I've seen that the pro-MPP radio stations are all bringing up the defense of entrapment. I'll disregard all of them. And I'll go to the statement his spokesperson made. Because those people, it looks like one editor just wrote everything for them and they just published. The headlines are the same. The contents of the stories are the same. So I'll disregard it with all the contempt he deserves. But his spokesperson yesterday on Joy News indicated that Godfred Odame was called by a Supreme Court judge. These were his words. Was called by a Supreme Court judge. Then he went to the Supreme Court judge and then he spoke to Mr. Jakpa. And then when he spoke, he told Mr. Jakpa, please speak the truth. Please speak the truth. I don't want anything from you, but it is just the truth. I want to find out if Godfred Odame wants the truth.
This happened in the Supreme Court judge.
Yes, that is what his spokesperson said. His spokesperson was the one. You should be asking him.
And you have a recording of it.
I'll call.
He said it.
Haven't mentioned him. I'll call him.
Annie,
but
please.
he said, please speak the truth.
He said yes. That is it. He said, speak the truth. Yesterday when he was speaking, I was capturing it. So if you like, Annie, let me pause. Call Wilberforce. Let him fill it because Dr. Antoinette cannot even believe that this could happen. She cannot even believe, like all of us, we are in disbelief. So please, Annie, let me pause.
Let me educate me on this one.
Annie, let me pause.
No, let me ask you. Don't worry. No, you continue. It takes a process to call him, so you continue. But let me ask you. You know, there's this issue also that Mr. Jakpa had spoken to the Attorney General, trying to maybe call a truce by paying what the nation has lost, as in the cost of what we have actually.
The plea bargain will come there and don't muddy the waters. Not
necessarily the plea bargain. I don't know if that also represents a plea bargain.
Yes, that's it.
That also represents a plea bargain. But can he also do that without his counsel?
Because
according to the Attorney General's office,
he can't do that.
He wrote that.
I said he cannot communicate directly with a person who is or deal in any matter, howsoever described, with a person who is represented by a lawyer. But what I'm telling you is that Godfred Odame is telling us something that we should be worried about. That Supreme Court or a Supreme Court judge is in the habit of calling an Attorney General to come to his house. How did this happen in our justice system? So, even if Mr. Jakpa was represented by a lawyer, it is bad enough. You know why? If I were a lawyer for Mr. Jakpa, in the presence of a Supreme Court judge, how am I going to say no when I have other cases pending before that judge? Especially when Godfred Odame is in the habit of meeting judges and communicating with judges ex parte. Recently, you heard the allegation in the affidavit in the Opuni trial that Godfred Odame had gone to meet a judge in his office. His defense was that he only spoke to the judge about an upcoming program. In the Honorable Roxanne Dafia-Mepov's case, he filed an application, a letter, written ex parte, which is forbidden by law, that you will speak to a judge alone without putting your other counsel in the know. He has been doing this and securing conviction and judgment in his favor. And today, his cup is full. And so you know what he's doing? Yesterday, his spokesperson, by coming to admit all these criminal acts of an attorney general trying to fabricate evidence with the intention of impugning and getting an innocent man to be in jail so party communicators can be given speaking points on how they are fighting corruption. Who did this to us as a nation? When did we descend so low? Was Dami not taught by the likes of Kumado and Professor and all these judges? What is happening to us? It's so annoying and irritating